Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here at the ASTA River Cruise Expo, and I'm here with Diane Frisch of Diane Frisch Destinations, who was just named during this conference River Cruise Advisor of the Year by ASTA. So pretty. And actually, I have interviewed Diane before. She is a NextGen travel advisor, and we're going to talk to her about her career, why she is focused on river cruising, and why she has really gotten focused on this wonderful niche that a lot of travel advisors have discovered. We're going to talk about that and more on Insider Travel Report. And first of all, great to see you again, and congratulations on this great. You look actually genuinely surprised. Right?
I was. When the applications went out, I thought, well, I think I have a chance at this. And then I didn't hear anything for a while, and so I was like, oh no, there's so many people selling river cruises. I just sort of talked myself out of it, and then when they announced me, I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, you had some pretty good competition. There were some really good travel advisors up there, and they were decided, I guess, by collective by ASTA and a lot of different people, right?
Yeah, it was a group from ASTA, and yeah, they said it was unanimous. I was like...
Unanimous? Oh my God.
I was like, when they said that, I'm like, then it can't be me.
Well, that's great. So how long have you been a travel advisor?
I started in 2017, and that's kind of why I won. I didn't really do river cruises a lot at the beginning, and I started learning about river cruises, and right before the pandemic I started thinking, I really want to get into this more. I want to really learn river cruises and start selling them. About half my business is river cruises now.
So you just kind of sort of fell into this niche that's pretty lucrative, right?
I fell into it on purpose.
Okay, fell into it on purpose. That's a good advice.
Fell into it on purpose. Well, I saw that it was a very good product. It appealed to me, but I also saw that there's so many cruise lines, as we're seeing here at this event. There's so many cruise lines, and there's so much to understand. There's a lot of merits in each one of the cruise lines, but they're all different, and the average consumer doesn't understand that, and that's where the travel advisor really can add value, because we help people understand the differences, not just inclusions and exclusions, but what kind of excursions they have. What's the ship like? What's life like on board the ship? What's the atmosphere? What's the vibe of the people who tend to go on this cruise? There's a lot to understand. So I saw that Travel Advisor could add a lot of value there. So
and a lot of Americans still for years didn't understand what river cruising was. It's really been an industry that's grown since the late 90s until what it is today. I mean, as I used to say, it used to be all for Europeans, and I think Americans discovered it finally in the late 90s, and then we had a slew of brands that came out, people like, brand new things like, well, obviously Uniworld, everyone knew, Viking, everybody knew, but then we had Emma Waterways, Avalon Waterways. We're on the ship now, we're actually on Tauk, which is a beautiful ship, and then we have even newer brands. We have Riverside that came out a year ago, which was, and we have Riviera River Cruises, which is right next to us, and so there's so many.
And what's interesting is, on the surface, like the one next door here, it looks almost exactly like the ship, but it's a different experience. It's a great experience, but it's different. And to understand that and teach that is what I've really been going for. And I've been really trying to promote that in my marketing and to my clients, and it's made a big difference in my business.
So again, what percentage of your sales are river?
It's 48.
48. Well, that's, you still don't selling other stuff, so, but this is.
I do. I really focus on Europe. I find that I could add more value when I had a strong focus in one area, because I can learn it much more in depth, right? It's a big world. I can study, and I have partners to do the whole world, but when I focus on Europe, that's when my business started to grow. Okay. And I focus on Europe by land. I do a lot of custom land. I do group land, like Tauk. We're on Tauk right now. And I do river cruises. Yeah.
So how did you educate yourself? I mean, did you just take advantage of all the different training programs all these lines have to offer?
Well, there's a lot. There's an
awful lot. You could do a PhD in river cruising, right?
There was. And my very first fam trip was with, can I say the name?
Sure.
It was with Alma Waterways.
Yeah, you're perfect.
They're very good at offering FAMs to agents, and that was my first one. Mm-hmm. And I really loved the experience, and I thought, well, I can understand this. I can speak to this to my clients. I can help them understand what it's all about. And my enthusiasm comes through because I like river cruising.
How many river cruises have you personally taken?
4.
Just 4?
Just 4. Well, I'm one tomorrow, so 5.
That's amazing, because I mean, and then you have to be well versed in pretty much all the products, right?
Well, this event started 2 years ago.
Right.
And when I saw ASTA, and by then I was just selling a few river cruises a year. It exploded after that. I saw ASTA was having the event in Budapest, and I thought, they're going to have all these cruise ships that I can explore all at once. I can meet the people, talk to the people who, and they had like presidents of the company there, heads of sales, and I got to talk to them and get a feel for their product. I got to see the ships, and I know seeing a ship isn't the same as sailing on it, but talking to management, seeing the ship, dining, having a meal on the ship.
It's pretty good. I mean, you're not going to get the excursion part of it, but you're going to get almost the whole experience. And as you said, a lot of each river, it's the same base. A lot of them. There are not too many very different river ships. There are a couple I hear, but really the goal is to find the management, find the style they have. You're not really going to get the customers here because we got all travel advisors.
Yeah,
But
right. But you get a strong feel, and the management, when you talk to the president of a company, and you can sense they're genuine, that they'll help you if there's a real problem. I don't go asking any of these people I've met for silly little things, but when I need something that's a reasonable thing to ask for, and I go to them, they help me. They really do. And I hardly ever go asking for things, but when I do and it's a real issue,
it's
they're
good to-
there because I met them
I
here.
know you have a personal connection with them, and they're usually very amenable. They want to make it good. They want to make that your customers feel great about their choice of a river cruise.
And these connections that you make here are huge. They really are. Not only seeing the ships, but honestly, it's a plug for ASTA, but that expo changed everything for me.
And it really has been a phenomenal event for ASTA. It was, again, we were in Budapest for the first 2 years. We're here in Amsterdam, and it keeps growing. We have 1,300 here. I think we're going to have a lot more in Vienna. Are you signed up for Vienna?
Well, yeah, that's my prize.
That's right. The prize was you get what was it? You were on AMA Waterways. You get to be housed. Then you get a sign up for the whole prize. I totally forgot about that. You get the and then you get a river cruise afterwards, right?
I do, and the registration. Yeah, there's going to be 15 ships next year.
So you kind of have to go. I'm sorry.
I do. Well, I like Vienna. It's in Vienna, and
I know.
I honeymooned in Amsterdam and Vienna, so I'm back to
You are in your roots here.
I am.
It is going to be a great, and I think they're going to be at least 15 ships. I talked to Zane Kirby, the ASTA president, about it, and he's just really created this phenomenal event. And of course, we all pay homage to a guy named Bob Duglin, who was the originator. And sadly, Bob passed away before the first River Cruise Expo. I knew Bob very well, great guy, and it was his idea to start the River Cruise Expo and in Budapest.
Yeah, it was a brilliant idea. As soon as I heard it, I knew I needed to come over, and it really changed everything. And back then, we didn't stay on the ships. And I thought when they started letting us house on the ships during the expo, it's genius.
Yeah, no, and now I don't think anybody stayed at hotels. Maybe if you were here before. I have a friend, a couple of good friends in the hotel industry here in Amsterdam. I said, well, maybe I'll stay with you before and I haven't had a chance. I haven't gone even over to to see some of these great hotels in Amsterdam. And Vienna's the same way. I mean, the port is a little farther away in Vienna.
It is.
Yeah, that's it.
It is. And I think moving it around is brilliant too.
Yeah.
But yeah, cruising the rivers does help us learn too. But it was genius. It changes everything. And for any agent who wants to grow their business in river cruising, this is the event. I mean, you can do webinars all the time. They're great. And webinars have I attend river cruise webinars every single week. I have my lunch and I watch webinars. But being
You have a life now. River Cruise webinars. I guess I should do that.
I play tennis.
Play tennis or pickleball.
I have children and pickleball and golf.
Pickleball. That's a full life.
And I have a husband and kids. It's
those things, but it is great that you take advantage of all these educational opportunities.
Yeah, this is the one. And the FAMs, if you can get on a river cruise and cruise on a river cruise, that's a good experience too. It's obviously different. But this is the best way to get the maximum exposure, and really it changed my business hugely.
Well, now that you're a River Cruise Advisor of the Year, I think you're going to have a few more invitations to do river cruising. I hope your family and your husband's ready to be going on a few river cruises.
No, my husband loves coming along. We just did Provence in the spring. Oh, it was nice.
And actually, river cruising in France is picking up. I mean, I think everybody knows the Danube, and it's wonderful, and the Rhine, it's wonderful. A lot of other rivers. I did river cruise down down to the Iron Gates of the lower Danube, which is actually an amazing cruise. And now the Rhone is really become, and soon I've done the Seine actually with Christine Karst of Emma Waterways. I did the Rhone with Uniworld years ago. It just is a wonderful place to do river cruise. And Bordeaux, I mean, that's it.
Bordeaux is nice, and there's some really cool extensions off of Bordeaux with San Sebastian and the Basque region, and into Loire Valley. Douro is really hot.
Well, we just talked about Douro is getting hotter all the time, and they're putting more product down there. I think Avalon Waterways is christening a ship the end of this month.
Ship. Ama Waterways has a new one, I think.
Ama Waterways has a new one as well, and then of course we go to the exotics with like Nile and Mekong. So there's and then of course Ama, the big news this year is going to be on the rivers in Colombia and Magdalena.
Oh yes, that's why Christine's not here. I heard she's in Colombia right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try to talk to her later about all this. She's missing it, and I'm actually have interviewed almost every single river cruise executive here. I'm missing a few, but she was a big miss, and I was going to talk to Alex Pinello, who's head of sales. He lost his voice, but that's okay. We'll talk to Christine, or I'll talk to Alex when he regains his voice. Now, what's the future hold for you in terms of river cruising? Do you think it's going to become an even greater percentage of your business?
I think so, and I think I've been doing groups, and I'm going to do more groups.
Perfect product to do it.
It is. I have a winery owner I work with, and he's a wine host on board, and it's a great opportunity for a winery owner.
Well, you can say wino. Somebody on the panel the other day said winos.
They did. I would not use that word.
but it's true. I mean, you could.
But it's a great opportunity because he brings his wine club, but they can't be more than half the ship. So the other half of the ship is people who love wine, are interested, and learn about his wines.
Well, I was lucky enough to do an Emma Waterways wine cruise. It was fascinating. It was actually California wines, but we're sailing through on the Rhine and learning all. We got off the ship and take great French and German wines, and we get back on. We try some of his wines. He tells us all about their wines. I thought it was an amazing cruise. I've only done one of them so far, and I think some of these lines now have multiple opportunities to do wine cruises.
They for sure. They have a bunch on Ama for sure, and several of the other ones do. And you can compare and contrast, which I think, I'm not a big wine aficionado, but I love the tastings where you have similar wines from like Portland and France, and you have to try to guess which is which, and they teach you the differences. I think that's really fun.
And I just wanted to say thank you very much, and congratulations for winning this great award, and I hope you keep on selling river cruises for a long time.
Oh, I plan to, and thank you so much. It was great seeing you again, and river cruises are just getting more and more popular. I plan to keep selling them.
And I hope one of these days we'll get to cruise together. We did on this one, but next time.
Yeah. Are you
next year? I'll be here next year.
Me too. That's the prize.
So join us on one of these fabulous river ships, this time next year in Vienna. And I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.